Yeah.
I actually had a question I want to ask myself, and then we'll get to some community questions. But I had a question, a couple questions actually about the Pigpen game. The first one I think I know the answer to, but that is how fun is the game going to be to play? And the second one is sort of a situational one. So if you had, let's say, a lot of capital and not a lot of time, versus you had not a lot of capital but you had a lot of time, how would sort of the gameplay experience differ in terms of what you do for those two particular scenarios?
Yeah. Okay, so we have a passive and an active strategy to the game. And so the way the game works is when you buy into the game, you deposit pigs into the game. Those pigs get staked on your behalf into the pig pen, and you now launch your own botnet. Now, a botnet is, and this is, of course, I'm talking about theming. You're not actually launching a botnet virus, right? But this is the theme of the game. Now, you're launching a botnet. Now, this botnet starts infecting servers and generating capital for you. So we can talk about, I have a security background. Before I ever got into developing crypto, I took the offensive security certificate program, web application program. I was doing bug bounty work. I actually thought this is what I wanted to do for a living potentially, and then I realized you don't get paid well. So I decided to focus on other things. But I wrote my own DDoS, innovative DDoS scripts, and I did a lot of interesting things while I was focusing on security. But this is why I have that interest. I've been interested in security for a long time, all the way since I was probably my freshman year of high school, doing pranks by installing servers into the computer lab computers so I could access them from home or access them from a different computer lab computer to prank my friends that were on that computer. I've been interested in this stuff for a very long time. So that's why I wanted to choose this theming. I think it's a cool theming. It's fun, right? So anyways, when you buy into the game, you deposit pigs. Those pigs get deposited into the pig pen on your behalf. Now, the theme of the game is a botnet is launched. Now, your botnet starts spreading. And as it spreads, there's a thing called essentially botnet mining. And what this does is when the botnet server it infects a computer or infects a network, it starts using that network's resources to mine for the host, to mine for the person who has launched the botnet, essentially. So the way the theming works is you launch a botnet, and your botnet starts infecting servers and starts using these servers' resources to mine for you. Now, this is the passive element of the game. So as your botnet spreads, it infects more servers, and it allows you to earn essentially a daily yield, which is being paid out to you in BUSD and pigs. This BUSD and pigs is coming from both the pigs that are being deposited in the game and from the BUSD and pigs that are being generated from the pig pen that are essentially connected with the stakes that are hosted on your behalf when you enter the game. So as your servers spread, you generate more BUSD and more pigs that are essentially being mined for you. The servers your botnet is using the servers that you're infected to mine that for you. Now, as you build up servers, as your botnet starts to spread, you start to build up a reputation. Now, this reputation want to make different hacker groups available to you. So as your reputation builds, different hacker groups become available to you. And it starts off where a hacker group called Script Kiddies is made available to you. Now, a Script Kiddie is someone that is a kind of hacker, but they use other people's scripts. They're not writing their own code. So it's called a Script Kiddie. But we're sticking with the Animal Farm theming. So instead of Script Kiddie, Kiddie, it's Script Kiddie, Kitty.
Nice.
Now, yeah, so what you could do now, as your reputation builds, is start recruiting members from these hacker groups to help you spread your botnet. Now, when you recruit members, each hacker group has their own tools that they specialize in to help spread your botnet. And once you've recruited at least one member from a hacker group, those tools become available to you as well for the active elements of the game. And the active elements of the game are building up defenses to protect your servers. For example, putting firewalls on your servers and various defensive protections to help protect the servers that you've infected. To offensive security tools, such as remote access tools, such as DDoS tools, such as ransomware tools, and these tools, once you have access to them by recruiting at least one member from the group that specializes in that tool, you can now use that tool to attack other players in the game and build up your defense to prevent other players in the game from attacking you. And the active part of the game is turn-based. So you have a set number of turns every day that you can use to attack other players in the game. Now, the way that the attack and or let's just call it the active part of the game works is essentially you have various scores. You have an offensive score, you have a defensive score, and you have a essentially a looting type of score. And you use your turns to target other players in the game that have a lower defensive score than your offensive score. And then when you attack them, your looting score essentially determines the amount of servers that you can steal from them. Now, for example, there's a hacker group called Lizard Squad. Lizard Squad specializes in DDoS tools. So, when you recruit a member from Lizard Squad, they're going to do two functions for you. One function is they start using their DDoS tools to attack servers, and then use social engineering to provide them security tools for their own attacks, which are infected with your botnet. So this is how they spread your botnet for you, and the more members you recruit from Lizard Squad, the faster they'll be able to spread your botnet through using their form of DDoS security deception. But also, once you have recruited at least one member from Lizard Squad, now you can also use that DDoS tool as an offensive attack to attack other players in the game. And that could be me attacking you, that literally any other player that's in the game, you can attack them. And as long as your offensive score is higher than their defensive score, you can steal service from them. So people who don't have a lot of time, but have a lot of resources can spend their time building, recruiting as many members from the most powerful hacker groups that are focused on spreading your botnet, and then really only focus on buying tools that will build up your defense. That way, they're infecting as many servers as possible and defending those servers. Whereas someone who has more time can focus more on building up their offense and their looting, and then targeting players in the game who are spending more on spreading their botnet but not building up enough defenses. And someone could be, spreading their botnet for a month to infect all these servers, but if they don't build up their defense, in one turn, they can lose all those servers to someone who is spending their time on the more active strategy. So it's truly a well-balanced strategy game. It's not, there's a lot of games out there that are glorified staking contracts claimed to be games. This is a true game with multiple different strategies you can take, multiple different gameplay methods. There's a form of lottery in the game. There's different characters that you can bring on. So it's a ton of fun, right? I've already played the game just from like a testing perspective, and I know it's something that people are going to enjoy a lot, but also, I mean, you can make money in it. So I would say one of the coolest parts about it is that it's built on top of the pig pen. So what that means is, if you put $50 in the pig pen, and you put $50 into the pig pen game, you know about what you're going to earn from the pig pen. What you're going to earn from the pig pen game is going to be dependent on how well you play the game. And since essentially what happens is the capital, the dividends that are earned in the pig pen that are associated with the game stakes goes into the pot of the game. And so you stake in the pig pen, and you're going to get your share of whatever the dividends are paid out to you. If you enter the pig pen through the game, whatever dividends are being built up go into the pot. And then what determines how much of that you get is based on your gameplay. And that means that someone who puts less money in could potentially earn more than someone that puts more money in to the game. So it's pretty cool in that sense, where you could earn more money in the game than you do just from a regular stake in the pig pen, even if you stake the same amount of money, if your gameplay is good. So that's another kind of element there, where it's people who have more time can really take advantage of that. People who are, if you want to be completely hands-off and you just want to collect dividends from like a share ownership of the farm, you can just get into the pig pen. But if you want to, play the game and you have time and you want to be active, you could potentially earn a lot more money for the same amount of capital by putting that capital in the game rather than straight up into the pig pen. And also, it's going to incentivize people to stay in for longer, to put more capital in. It's really going to do a lot to support the overall ecosystem of the farm as well. There's also a use case for drip in it, which I'll get into. I want to announce that once the game is live, because it's something that will come into action about a week or two after the game's live. which is very attractive. And there's also an NFT element where certain items in the game are represented by NFTs, and there's a form of like battle auction to own the NFTs. So there's a lot. There's a lot that some of it I'll get into after it goes live, because it's kind of surprises that come out after as the game progresses.
Yeah. So what I can